What is good, y'all? It is Anime K here, and we are back with another video. Now, today we're going to be talking about chapter 15 of Boruto, or specifically the reveal of the fifth Shinju. And I'm going to give my opinion. If you see the title of the video, it is Shinki is the fifth Shinju. Was this a bad decision? So, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let's get into it. So, the end of chapter 14, right? Kankuro called up Shikamaru to ask him for the Leaf's help because both Shinki and Gaara had been attacked, but fortunately, both of them are still alive. Now we move on to chapter 15, we get to see what took place prior to Kankuro calling up Shikamaru, right, and warning him about what's happened. And we see Gaara fighting against one of the Shinju, that Shinju being Mitsuri, the female Shinju, the one that is from... I forget her name. What is her name again? I'm sorry, guys. I forgot her name, who she's from. Her name's gone out of my mind for some reason, but you know who I'm talking about, right? And she states the only reason she's there is to follow the trail of Boruto and his accomplices, showing that she doesn't know who Kashin Kojin is and how many people are helping Boruto. And when we see Gaara, he's been hurt pretty bad on his side by Mitsuri. You can see he's got a big slash on his side, and you can see blood coming out his mouth, right? So Gaara is not in the best state at this point. While this is going on, Shinki and the rest of his team have been encased in Gaara's sand, and Gaara's plan was to fly them out of there, risking his life to protect them, saying that you guys are the future of the hidden sand and I can't have you guys getting hurt. As he is getting them out, right, Shinki manages to escape and sees one of the claws about to bite Gaara, but he uses his sealing jutsu to protect Gaara, but by doing so gets bit himself, and that's how the fifth Shinju, Ryu, is born. Now, I wasn't really a big fan of Shinki being the fifth Shinju. We knew he was going to go after, he was obviously going to go after Gaara, right? That was pretty obvious. I suspected he may go after maybe Boruto or maybe some other people from the Leaf, but it was pretty obvious that it was going to be Gaara. And I wasn't a big fan of that. Obviously, at the start, I thought, I don't know how that could work, right? I mean, Gaara's not really an interesting enough character to have one of the Shinju go after him, right? While the rest of the Shinju are going after people in the Hidden Leaf, and arguably more important characters and more interesting characters right now. I love Gaara. He's one of my favorite characters, right? But, you know, it's just not his time right now. You know, it shows Boruto. It wouldn't have really made much sense, right? Especially if you look at the track record of most Naruto characters not being in the story or being taken out of the story in Naruto and Sasuke's case. But with the Hidden Leaf going over to help them, this could turn into a Boruto version of the Kazekage rescue mission when Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi went over to save Gaara from the Akatsuki. And I actually really liked that arc as well. It was a fairly good arc. We got to see a lot of good moments. We got to see Naruto fight against Deidara. We got to see Sakura fight against Sasori, right? And this is the arc, arguably, where Sakura kind of leveled up. Obviously, I know that's a thing that's discussed a lot, but she at least did something during the arc, right? But overall, that was a good arc, and I feel like we'll get a similar thing in this arc as well. Now, the question is, who's going to go over to the Hidden Sand? Because this is very important, because if the arc plays out, or the next couple of chapters play out how I think it will, the people who go over will be very important, and I think those characters will get a big step up. Now, the first person I think will go over there will be Sarada, and the reason why I think it will be Sarada is, while she's had her moments, obviously she's fought against Chidori, she managed to hit him with the Chidori, right? She's had some great moments, but I feel like this arc will be a very big step up for her. Seeing again fight against Hidori, or maybe fight against Ryu. And like I said before, if you remember her mom took a big step during this same type of arc, so I'm guessing she might do as well. Plus, we don't know what her MS ability is as well, so this may be the arc where we get to see her develop her MS ability, or at least showcase what it could be, simultaneously to Kawaki gaining power as well. So I feel like this arc will definitely be an arc where we see a lot of characters gain power, and I feel like Sarada, if that does happen, she is the obvious first choice of a character that deserves a power-up and needs to get a power-up, because right now she is relevant within the story, she's very strong, but seeing her use her MS abilities and really see her showcase all her abilities during this arc will be very good as well. And her being my favorite character, I would definitely love to see her go over to the Hidden Sand and try to help the Hidden Sand and obviously protect Gaara. And again, like I said, if we're comparing this arc to Naruto, this is the arc where Sakura really showcased her skills, whether that was healing Kankuro or going up against Sasori, like I just said before. Now, I was going to say Team 10, it would definitely make a lot of sense, especially with Himari being there. Maybe she could see Boruto without Kawaki, maybe they could have a conversation, right? But the reason why I don't think this would happen, or may not happen, is because obviously Kankuro said to Shikamaru, don't tell Tamari what happened, right? Could you keep it a secret for a bit? And obviously, if Shikamaru's like, look, son, you're going over to the Hidden Sand, obviously his mum's going to know about it and she's going to ask questions, right? So I don't know. I would like to see Team 10 go over there. I would definitely like that to happen. I think it should happen. I think it'll be really good to see Team 10 go over there with potentially Boruto, Sarada, and maybe another person I'm going to name in a bit, right? but I do think it would make sense for them to go over, but I don't know if it will happen. Another person that I want to go is Mitsuki, right? Because Mitsuki at the start, right, of these couple chapters when he knocked out Kawaki, everyone thought, oh, okay, he's obviously way stronger than he is now, or Kawaki's just really weak. But now we found out that Amado had limiters on Kawaki's abilities, including his defensive abilities. So that was probably one main reason why he wasn't able to sense Mitsuki's snake. So Mitsuki's kind of in a weird position because I really don't know where to scale him. Like I know where to potentially scale him, obviously, because these days in Boruto it's either you're Otosuki level or you're just not, right? And if you're not relevant really in the story. But I think with Mitsuki, I don't know where to scale him. I think him going on this arc would probably be a good thing for him. It could showcase more of his abilities. Maybe seeing if Orochimaru gave him any other abilities, because right now all he really has is the Snake Sage mode, which has kind of been ineffective against most people, right? Unfortunately, those people he's fought have been way stronger than him, like Boruto, right? But I would definitely like to see Mitsuki go in this arc, maybe just because seeing him reunite with Sarada would be good, and then potentially if Boruto is there, which I do think Boruto probably will go over there, right, after finding out what's happened, I think it would be good if Mitsuki went. And it kind of makes you think, where will everyone scale after Kawaki gets his limiters off? Now, again, I was going to mention Kawaki, and I feel like Kawaki may go a little bit after, right? But first, he does have to talk to Amado and get his limiters off. But I do see Kawaki maybe appearing later on in the arc or later on in the chapter, but he does need to get his limiters off Amado. But that won't be no easy task because, of course, the whole reason why Amado did that is for his daughter. And again, I want to get into why Amado did that because I've seen some people making some, not theories, but I've been asking questions of why would he make Kawaki weaker if he wanted Kawaki to stay alive and to get his daughter back. But that's a video for another day, but it's a very interesting topic, right? But I think that's one reason why Kawaki probably won't go there straight away, but will probably come after, right? Because he's obviously going to want to get his limiters off his powers. And yeah, I think Sumire will go as well. I'm not going to get too much into Sumire. You know, she's not really that interesting, really. But yeah, but overall, I do think this arc will be a good arc to level up some characters, right? If done in the way where I think it will go. I don't really see it going another way. The Hidden Leaf are obviously going to go over to the Hidden Sand, and it's kind of around the same time in the story, I think, when Naruto went to the sand. It was probably a little bit later in the Naruto story, but still, well, it was a lot later in the Naruto story. But still, I think if it's done the way it was done in Naruto, not similar obviously, but you guys get what I'm saying, where you got to see characters showcase their powers, you got to see Naruto kind of lose it a bit, which actually, if you do pair that up with Boruto's kind of drama with his karma, maybe Boruto might lose it with his karma. We don't know. But this arc does seem like it could be interesting if it at least mirrors what they did in Naruto, but obviously doesn't copy it. But guys, let me know what you think. How do you think this arc will go? Do you think it will be interesting? How do you feel about Shinki being the 5th Shinju? And do you think it will be an interesting arc, or do you think they maybe should have taken it in a different direction? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. This has been Anime K, and I'm out. Peace.